Okay, so hey guys, and welcome to today's webinar. My name is Vinny Marzelli, and I'm excited to welcome all of our existing partners and welcome those who are here to learn more about partnering with Vivid Commerce. So thank you to everyone for joining today. We have a lot to cover in a little amount of time, and I hope the information we are about to present can help you and your merchants scale in a bunch of different ways this summer. If you're new to learning about Vivid Point of Sale, we built a point of sale for several reasons, but mainly because we started as a payments company, and the feedback we were receiving from you all as partners really encouraged us to help build something where our partners could have and keep full control of their payment portfolio and to have the option to compete with companies like Toast, Fend, and Lightspeed. I know a lot of us have been burned by other point of sale companies where the relationship starts great, you bring them a handful of customers, and then without your knowledge, these companies go right after your merchants. So this point of sale is for you and one you can rely on. We have done several webinars on Vivid Point of Sale for restaurants, but I wanted to hold this webinar today to focus on Vivid Point of Sale for retail, because we really do have a retail solution that is often understated, and it really has some unique features that make it stand out from a retail side. So today I'm going to break down why you want to partner with Vivid. We have a ton of Vivid partnership benefits, which include a free terminal placement, a zero buy rate with our payment platform, white labeling, and a payments training platform. And then I'm going to introduce you to Vivid Point of Sale Suite, the product suite, give a little summary of our dual pricing cash discount offerings. And then I'm very lucky to have with us today Vivid sales manager Justine Herman, who is going to give you a full walkthrough of the point of sale on the front end and the back end. And she will also be highlighting a lot of features that make Vivid Point of Sale for retail stand out. So let's start with the benefits to partnering with Vivid as a sales agent or a payments company. A partnership with Vivid allows your company to take full advantage of a zero buy rate when boarding a low risk merchant account. This program is meant to increase your residuals and portfolio profitability, along with the ability to price your merchants more competitively. The requirements for this program include no transaction fee, no bin fee, no batch fee, and no PCI or account on file fee. The monthly fee of $5 can be billed to the merchant's account or absorbed into your company's residuals. So like all of our accounts, this can be accompanied with the same or next day funding at no additional cost. When boarding a merchant under a zero buy rate offering, this promo will not expire and last the duration of the account when boarded with Vivid. So we do not offer a profit share on the SaaS model right now of Vivid Point of Sale, but this is a way to increase your profitability on the payments as well. I want to also note that we do accept high-risk merchants. They wouldn't fall under the zero buy rate promo, but we have had incredible success boarding vape stores, CBD stores, and other high-risk accounts with Vivid Point of Sale. The feedback has been great, and because we are not owned by a bank like US Bank or Bank of America, we don't prohibit you from boarding a high-risk account with Vivid Point of Sale. And another great perk to boarding your retail merchants with Vivid, accompanied by doing the payments through us, is we also offer our partners a white label dashboard. So this means when merchants log into our payments dashboard to retrieve things like payouts, support statements, or even daily reporting, your brand and logo will be premiered and shown in the place of Vivid's. And this is a great for continuing to build your brand, which is something we feel strongly about. Another partner benefit is our new payments training platform, which is designed for any of your existing agents or new agents. Training new agents can be tiresome, repetitive, and expensive. So this program is designed to free you from the tedious and repetitive task of explaining the intricacies of payment processing while allowing you to spend more time selling. Each agent will be equipped with their own portal to allow you to track your employees' progress through the program. Trainings vary from lectures and videos and are accompanied by a quiz at the end of at the end of every single video or lecture to measure your comprehension. This program has content for those who are new to the industry and for those who are veterans. We know the payments industry is constantly changing, so we are constantly creating new content to accommodate. This industry can seem complex to a new agent, so it's one thing to go out there and sell Vivid Point of Sale, but new agents need training on the basics and payments to gain confidence. So there's no better way to add value to your company than providing a learning resource for them or your agents, which builds confidence and helps them achieve success. And real quick, before we dive headfirst into the Vivid Point of Sale exclusively, I wanted to mention our free terminal placement program that aligns with Vivid Point of Sale. This is for merchants who are considered low risk and that will fall under Interchange Plus pricing along with cash discount and dual pricing. This program is broken into two tiers, allowing you to offer a complimentary terminal to really any size merchant. Tier 1's offerings are geared toward merchants who need a terminal or virtual terminal to accept payments without a point of sale built in, with the exception of Swipe Simple B250 reader, which can be used with any iPhone, Apple, or Android phone or tablet. Tier 2 offers upgraded terminals like the PAX A920, A80, and the AMP 8200, which allows merchants to pair their device with Vivid Point of Sale, Vivid Lite, Vivid Smart Terminal, or compatible point of sale, even of their choosing, like Swipe Simple Register. Each tier is associated with a monthly fee and can be waived for merchants processing over $30,000 a month. So now switching gears, let's first start off with the Vivid product suite before we start the demo. Vivid is broken into 3 different tiers. The first is Vivid Smart Terminal, which is a standalone software on the PAX A80 or A920 or even the 8200 that is designed to accept payments like a Deja Vu or Ingenico would. It has a higher quality interface that also allows for dual pricing and cash discount. When selling this, think of those merchants who absolutely do not want a point of sale at all. They want a terminal to take payments. So small boutiques, food trucks, CPAs, law offices, etc. This would be a great fit for them, and the monthly $10 cost gets waived when processing with us and doing dual pricing or cash discount. The next vertical is through Vivid Lite, which costs $40 a month, which is a great price and can be placed on the AMP 8200, the A920, A80, A70. There's more too, and Justine's going to go into that, but this is a great option for those retailers who just want a basic point of sale on the terminal and don't have as many SKUs or don't need an iPad or large station to accommodate payments. And believe it or not, like the light version for retail really holds a lot of value and can do probably 80% of what our full point of sale can do, just with the restriction of being on a handheld terminal. This is a great option for those micro to medium-sized boutiques, retail stores, and those who want, the ability for categories and modifiers, but really don't need anything else. The next tier up is our full point of sale for retail, which is iOS, iPad, and also Android based, and can also be built as a full station on our AMP bridge. This is for those merchants who need strong inventory management, loyalty programs, looking for the ability to have thousands of SKUs, employee management, want an online store, and need e-commerce capabilities or even barcode scanning. Justine's about to go over all the features in a bit, but this is a great point of sale from medium all the way up to enterprise or multi-location retail stores. So we have a little something for everyone. We truly designed each one of these tiers to fit the mold of basically any size merchant. And we also want to note that each terminal and software platform we offer also allows the ability for dual pricing and cash discount on them, which is great because if you're boarding a merchant with us, you can easily get them up and running with a free terminal we offer, like the PAX A920 or AMP 8200, and no cost to them besides the monthly SaaS fee if applicable. And a few of those terminals also pair as card readers with the iPad, also our full station. So that's another $450 savings when getting them set up on a full register setup. So that's a quick synopsis of the product suite. And now I'm going to let Justine Herman, our sales manager, go into more details about the perks and features of Vivid Point of Sale for retail. Yes, hear you great.
All right, perfect. All right, I think that I need you to stop sharing then so I can share.
There you go.
There we go. All right. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. I'm really excited to share with you our point of sale for retail. I'm sure a lot of you have already heard from me in other webinars that we've done for point of sale. And really every time we do restaurant, which is awesome and which is, obviously what our system initially was built as. However, we have this really great template that we use for retail, and it's really a great fit for retail. So we've been doing this a ton. We've been really leaning into the industries that have kind of just been, increasing and that we've been really seeing a lot of. We are such a great fit for, these small retail environments. It even really couples really well with locations that are, let's say something like a coffee shop, but also carry retail products. So, maybe your coffee shop also sells mugs and tumblers and t-shirts. So this is a great kind of fit for that in between, but then really also for businesses that are full on retail. Small boutiques, CBD vape shops have been our #1 environment lately. And so it's really been a great fit for us. So I'm really happy to share this with you and answer any questions you may have about it. All right, so starting off here, we do have the clocking in and clocking out functionality, as always, and we do have the ability to give people different accessibility through their PIN numbers. I'm going to go ahead and log in here, and we'll get started with our demo. So first, we're going to open up right here into an order screen, right? So especially for a retail location, we don't want to really be jumping around to different service areas all the time. We want to just be able to ring up our customer, ready to roll. So we open right up into our order screen and we're ready to go. Now, within a retail environment, we've been utilizing the barcode scanning aspect a ton. Obviously, it makes it super easy for you to be able to just scan, and pop the items onto your ticket. A lot of product in this type of an environment, but also in other retail locations, will come with a barcode already attached to it. Most products out in the world already have a SKU or barcode kind of on them, whether that be some things like in a market, like a bag of potato chips or a soda can, or in this type of environment, let's just say a pack of cigarettes or, a box of like a vape pen or something along those lines. So you do not need to redo any of those UPC numbers or SKUs. We can just scan right off the original and use it. So what we would do is in the inventory build, a little different than the restaurant environment, we're going to be associating those UPC numbers, so that way we can just scan, and those numbers will already be associated to the item, the price, any information associated, and we'll be able to pop it onto the ticket. Okay, so that's been part of what's been so great about this fit for us. We also can search for an item. So you may, in these types of environments, have product that maybe you don't want a sticker on and you don't want to scan if it doesn't already have a label on it. And so in those cases, we can actually use the search box up on the top here, and we can start to type whatever it is that we, are looking for. And we'll search through. You'll see kind of by the colors here that we're pulling from different categories. And it's going to try to find what we're looking for. So we can just kind of search through whether there's a lot of product or not and use the name to filter out and find what we're looking for. Okay. And then we also can use our, sort of restaurant way, right, where we can go through and just touch on the screen and select the category and then the item associated. Okay, so it's kind of the same way we would before. We can just, scroll through and we can click on whatever category it is, and then we can see all the items that are associated there within that category. Again, photos, different colors, things like that do make it easier for us to find what we're looking for. You can use stock photos or real photos that you've taken, of the product in your own store, which is nice. You see the difference here. If you see that second line there has all photos in it versus the colored tiles. So, in this type of an environment with a lot of product, it does make it easier for you to use branding and things like that to find what you're looking for. Okay. Another example of that would be these branded items here. These are just Google, images that we can find for these brands, and populate them on the item. Now, we also have the ability to see that we have the UPC associated. If you see down along the bottom here, we're going to see a nice, clear, big picture of this product if we were maybe unsure what we were looking for. And then we can also pop in a description. So if you see on here, we have legal age 18, check ID. Now, the system does actually have a setting where you can kind of, stop this sale from happening without actually checking the ID, or you can actually put it into, some kind of a description specific to the item. We can see our vendor, we can see our quantity type. We also can change that quantity type. So if we, we're sitting there and think, oh, this is actually not the right count, or, oh, we've just received some more of these. We can actually go ahead and update that quantities, even if it's only like one more, let's just say. Now we have 51, and it will update right away. So that's a nice, easy way for you to ensure that your inventory counts are correct. Okay, we can also print a label. So if you are using something that isn't already associated, maybe you've created your own UPC, which we can do in the back office. You can then go ahead and print a label for this item. Okay, now we'll just pop a couple of these items here onto the ticket. And just to kind of circle back on that inventory count, you can see on each of these boxes, there's a smaller circle with a number at the bottom, like sort of where the description is. That's going to show us our inventory count. So you can, at a quick viewpoint, see that quantity without actually clicking into the item. Okay. Now, once we have our items here on the screen, we also still will have the functionality where we can take a note. We can delete this item if we touched it by accident or scanned it by accident. Maybe you scanned it twice by accident. We can go ahead and remove it. We also can pop a note on here and also predefined notes. So if there are things that happen quite often, if you want to ensure the customer knows this is a final sale product, something along those lines, we can type anything we want into that box, or we can go ahead and use our predefined, super quick and easy. You just touch it, move right on, and we can see that notation there. Okay, so really nice feature there. Now, we also have the ability to pull from our customer database. So I personally think this is a super important piece of running any business, that regardless of what environment you're in. Having your customer list, being able to reach out to your customers, being able to, have visibility around their history. What are they buying? Who are they? What are they here for? What do they like? Those are things that can allow you to reach back out to your customer. Oh, I saw you bought this last time. Let me tell you about this, whatever it is. Oh, we just restocked this item. So we really can find a lot of information about our customers simply by having the customer database built out and associating the customer to their ticket every time they're in your store. Okay, this also partners with our loyalty program, which is another great piece. It's incentivizing your customer to shop with you in your location. So you, as the merchant, would decide how many points per dollar you want the customers to earn. So there's some criteria that you can set up so that you can kind of decide how you want the program to work, bonus points, things like that. And then your customers can earn points for shopping in your business and then utilize those points to pay for product. It acts like a store credit, basically. That they can use to pay for their items. It's super easy to check points value, things like that. You can actually even put the points value on the receipt for the customer to see and kind of take home. Okay, so we'll just select a customer here and we see them populated up on the top of the ticket to ensure we know they're on there. Okay. Now within a retail environment, we also have the function of return. Now, some of you may not have seen that before when we look at restaurant, because it's not really something we would be doing in that type of environment. Okay. So if your store does accept returns and you were going to return an item, we've given you that button here where we can go ahead and make a return. We're going to give it the quantities. We can select whichever of these items would be being returned. Okay, and now when we make the selection, we're going to be prompted to choose if it's damaged or that they've changed their mind. And the reason for that selection of reason is so that we know if we're going to restock this item or not. That way you keep your inventory count correct, whether or not you're selling or returning an item. Okay, you also can do this within the same transaction of returning and purchasing. So an exchange, whether it be even or not, can happen within one receipt. We can return a product, purchase a new product. If there is any kind of a balance, the system will show that appropriately. Okay, so that's really a nice function there to keep those levels correct. Now, I know Vinny has touched briefly on cash discounting. Or dual pricing. We talk about it all day long. I'm sure you guys do as well. So if you see down along the bottom here, this particular demo is set up for a dual pricing model. So you'll see in the boxes, the green and the red boxes down on the bottom, we have cash and card, and the cash price is a little bit lower than the card price. So this is a perfect example of what we use for dual pricing. Cash is one price, card is a slightly higher percentage. It's usually 3.5 or 4% higher than the cash price. So we see it super clear. If we were to print this as a receipt, we would actually see those differences as well. And it would be listed exactly the same way. Cash is $24.25, card is $25.22. Super clear. Okay. Then we also have the ability to choose within the pay screen tons of other payment type of options. So, same as you guys are used to with our point of sale, we have tons of options like discount, void, tax exempt, comping, coupons. You can take deposits, you can redeem points, house account, card on file. So tons of different ways that you can offer to, allow your customers to pay. Anything you'd want to accept, we can create a button for, even if it's not one of the items that you see here. We can create you a button so then that way you can accept the payment and track it properly in your system. You will see everything that you do on a report, even if it's something that isn't specifically like quote unquote run through the system. If you accepted a paper check, let's just say, right? Most businesses wouldn't, but if you wanted to, you could, and we would give you the button and you'd be able to track it appropriately. Okay, I'm just going to show you quickly here. I'm going to choose on redeem points. Now let's see if this customer, Christian Cole, has any points. So we can go ahead and click on here and we'll see that this customer does have enough points for a discount. And then we're just going to get the option of if we want to use them or not. It's going to tell us how many points and how many dollars that's going to equal, how many points we have, and if we want to use them or not. So we could redeem those points to pay for this transaction right now, or we could save those points for later. Okay, so it's kind of like checking the points, but also being able to use them at the same time. Okay, I'm going to choose to redeem those points now. And now the transaction has ended. Okay, we paid for the transaction with those points. So it was enough to cover, and we will see that very clearly in our reporting as well. Okay, I'm going to jump out of this really quickly and pop over into the service area just so you can kind of see somewhat the same way that we do in restaurant. Now, it's a little bit more applicable in restaurant that you would have, maybe a dining room, a bar, takeout, a delivery, right? But some retail environments do that as well. So we do have options for still having those different service areas. Maybe you are using an online platform, which you absolutely can, and this will communicate the exact same way with your online platform. Just by toggling on, we're going to sell this online, and it will be there available for our customers. Okay, so you can have an online bucket, you can have a curbside pickup, even a delivery, maybe. So any of those different service areas that you would want, we can still separate those out with no problem. Okay, and then you will see those orders populate in the correct buckets, by choosing them within the service area, or if they are online, then they're going to kind of push right down into your point of sale. Okay, so super easy to just kind of separate those out. Now, within that, you also can utilize what we call a hold and new option. So you can hold this ticket if you needed to. If you were in the middle of ringing up and then this customer had to step offline or take a phone call or anything like that, we can choose hold and new, and we can pop this ticket back over into that service area and be ready for our next customer. Now we can ring up our next customer and then jump out into the service area and pick that ticket back up. Okay, so super easy to do that in case you need to. Now I'm going to show you on the side menu here, we have a lot of those same options that we do within restaurant, right? So we have our full customer database. We can see our points balance. Let's take a look at this account since we were just in there. So we can see the points balance. We can see, what was spent, how many previous orders. This particular person also has a house account. So if you see down towards the bottom, we have a house account limit of $1,000 so that this person can't spend beyond that. Now you would decide what you want to set that at. It could be anything. And then we're going to see what the balance is. So this person has charged $106.48 to their account. We can now actually make a payment toward this if we would like to. If we're going to choose pay, we can also then choose how much we want to pay of it, and it'll jump us into an order screen ready to pay. Okay, we can also see our points balance here and make edits if we need to, the little pencil there. If we ever needed to, maybe we forgot to put the customer on the ticket, but we know that they did earn points today. We could go in and manually put those back and do right by the customer. Okay, we can take notes on any customer. This one is just particularly saying that they have a house account, but it could be anything. This is a friend and family. This is a vendor, whatever it is. And then we can see any pending or previous orders as well. So the previous orders, I think, is such a great tool in retail environment because it can first act as proof of purchase. Okay, so if somebody does need to return something, maybe they don't have their receipt, maybe they didn't take a receipt. A lot of times people these days are just not taking a printed receipt, right? We can go back and find their transaction. So we can really use this as proof of purchase if we needed to. We can scroll through and see all the transactions this person has done, even if it was a while ago. Let's go back to February 22nd. We can click on that order and take a look at it. Here it is. It's our proof of purchase. We can see that it has been paid. Okay, if we needed to use it that way. Now, we also can go back under that same customer. And if we wanted to be taking a look at those previous orders, we can also reorder. So this is super helpful if somebody gets the same thing every time. People tend to, be creatures of habit, lean on the same products that they like. And, especially in this kind of an environment, you may go back and get the same type of thing every time. So if we wanted to choose reorder, we then would see the order in its entire order. And we could then go through and select either 1, 2, any of these items if we wanted to, and reorder them. If we choose that, it's going to pop it right into the ticket with the customer's name. We're ready to pay and move right through. So it's super quick and easy, really allows you to move through the system really quickly. Okay. We have an orders option that allows you to access any open and closed orders. So we can even take a look right here and see that, we just used this for this particular customer. We charged to a house account. We used a reward as our types of payments. So it's really very clear what's, kind of happening here. We can see any closed orders for the day. We also can go into advanced search. So you can find old transactions. Maybe you didn't have the customer information, but you still need to access this old receipt. You can use any information or criteria that you have here to search and try to find that old transaction. Okay. We do have coupons available. This is a really great option. It's free to use. It comes with your system. It's like free marketing options. So you can create any kind of coupon that you would want. It can say anything, be anything, any dollar off, any percentage off, whatever you want. Okay, from the back office, you can email these directly to your customers. But here on the front, we can also print them. So you could, if you needed to in a pinch, in the moment, print a coupon, give it to the customer. Or maybe you're going to choose everybody who buys whatever product today is going to get this coupon. Okay, so super easy to print those here. And again, you can create them as whatever you want. We do have reporting available here on the front. End of day summary in a retail environment, you're probably going to look at a couple times a day. How are we doing? How much money do we have in? We can go ahead and pull that report at any point. And we're going to see our sales, our statistics, just a quick snapshot of what we've done today, the payment types, the things that we have done, the categories that we've sold, things like that. So nice option for a quick viewpoint there. We do have cash management, so you can open and close your till. You can use a media account if you wanted to be super specific about those dollar values. We do have settings and POS operations on the front end available here as well. The settings we don't use a lot on the front, but you do have full value, full access to them. If you ever wanted to make any kind of changes, move things around. And then within the POS operations, we have this great option here for adding an item. So at any point, you could click into this and add a new item. If we access the little camera icon, I'm on an iPad right now. So if I accessed that little camera icon, I could actually use the camera on the iPad to scan a UPC, and it will pick up whatever UPC I scan. It's going to think that it's a new product, obviously. So then it's going to want me to go ahead and add in the other information. So you could quickly just pop in their product name, price. When you get to the category, it's going to actually allow you to choose from a drop-down list of the existing categories, which is so nice. You could just pop it right into wherever you want it to live. Okay. And then that's really all you even have to put in. If you see those little asterisks, you really only have to do those couple options there. And then we can quick add it right in. Okay, so really nice and easy to be able to, access this in terms of your inventory and new product to be able to sell. Okay, now we also sometimes have available the portal on the front end here. We don't always make it available because it really is more of a manager or admin function. I'm logged into the system as an admin right now, which is why I'm able to see it. Let's see if we can go into it here. And so if you do have that capability set up, you can then access your back office right there from the POS if you wanted to. And then we would see our back office. So you see here, this is the back office that links back to that front POS we just were looking at. And we see our sales and stuff kind of populate here already. So you're going to get your quick snapshot of sales here right on the front. We do have a full report center that is going to give us some great information. All of our reports are able to be filtered by date and time. Also specific criteria, things like terminal or even employee, things like that. If you really did need to dig into anything, we could quickly just take a look at this end of day summary, somewhat like we just looked at in the front, but back here, we're going to get more information. So it's going to be a little bit more detailed. All of these reports can be saved as CSV or PDF. So if you ever did want to save these reports, you can. And then you'll see here what we have going on. So this is what we've sold today. We see our categories, names, different payment types, things like that. Now, if you see within this payment type option here, we do have an NCA bucket there. That's non-cash adjustment. So if we did run any credit cards and we had pulled, from that program, we would see those numbers listed there. So it's really nice and clear for us to see when we are running those programs, how much money we've actually generated towards that program. Okay. So quick little snapshot here, just so you guys can see. what that looks like. Okay, I'm going to just jump back here. Any of the transaction reports, you can actually pull the ticket associated to the receipt, which is a nice option. If you ever did need to do some deep digging into transactions, or even sometimes customers will say, oh, I didn't receive my receipt when I left the store. You could actually go back in there and find that receipt and send it on over. Okay, we have our catalog for our full build of everything that we want to sell. Okay, we'll see our categories listed out just like how we saw them on the front. You can click and move them around if you ever wanted to, add photos, things like that. And then within our items, I just want to show you a couple things here that we kind of were taking a look at up on the front. So we did see the description, right? Legal age 18. Check ID. So that description could be anything you want it to be. It could even just be informational for your staff. Maybe this comes in other flavors. This comes in other colors, whatever it is. Out of stock, coming back in on whatever date. So that way you can kind of communicate that information over to your staff. We have our image, we have our categories. We can make changes to any colors, things like that if we ever wanted to. Now, what I want to show you is this inventory bucket that's associated to this item. So we have our manufacturer brand of where, we are getting this from. We have our vendor. We have our quantity on hand, our UPC number. Now, if you see there is a bucket next to that UPC that actually says generate UPC. So if we were going to assign new UPC numbers to any product, or maybe all of our items have no UPC, but we want to use it, we can generate a generic UPC for any item. It will be its own. We will assign it as its own, and it will act like as if it just basically came on that product. So we do have the ability to create those new numbers if we ever needed to. Okay. And then we're also tracking it in inventory. And we can also give it a reorder point. So if we want to be notified when we get below a certain value, we can set that up with that reorder point. Okay. So that's nice options there. Just going to jump back into the items. So another option I just want to show you guys quickly here is the price editor. This is such a great tool, especially in today's world. Unfortunately, prices are kind of ever changing. So this makes it super easy for you to do that. If you need to change any prices, you will see that we have our whole list of in-store and also web pricing. So if you are utilizing the web, again, you can kind of make those pushes and those changes super easy here. We can also select it by the category. So if, let's say, it was only, one type of product that changed, then we can take a look at that just based upon its category. So we can take a look at the whole category, and we can actually update this whole category just within one button if we need to. If we wanted to, we could then set the update to bulk push by dollar value or percent. You can have them all be the same specific price. You can increase by a particular, maybe everything goes up by $1, or you can do percent, which is really, I think, the best way to do it. We're going to increase everything by 2%, pop it in there, update it, all the numbers change. So super quick and easy. That's a great, great tool. Okay. Now I just want to jump into the inventory so you guys can see how that works. Now, this is really important for a retail location. Their inventory is, they're everything, right? They, every single day, it's just about the product, the inventory, how we're going to sell these items. We need to know what we have and be able to track these things. Okay. So the inventory bucket is really an important piece. Now we'll see our whole list here. We can save this as PDF or CSV and print it. Some businesses do that. They want to go and hand count everything, whatever it is. Okay, so you can do that if you wanted to, or you could actually take this on a tablet like I have it right now. I could take this onto my sales floor and make these adjustments if I need to, or check that they're correct. Okay, so we can see all that stuff right here. Now I want to show you how we utilize a purchase order. This is going to associate back, obviously, to the product. So when it's setting up your back office and when setting up your product, you would choose to associate those items to a vendor. And by doing so, you then can create purchase orders. We'll pop in, try to do a new one here. We can create a purchase order by selecting the vendor. They'll come up in a list here of any of our vendors. Just choose vape for now. And then selecting an item is only going to allow you to choose items that you have associated back to this vendor, right? So it makes it super easy. You're not looking through all of your product. You're only looking through the product that is applicable for this vendor. Okay. Now we can just choose whatever it is. Let's add this item here. We're going to order 10 of them. Okay. And then we can save this, we're going to save this we can save this PO, or we can actually, populate this PO as something that we are expecting. Okay. Now, if we were going to do that, then you would see here, we have a couple purchase orders that we are waiting on. We've received one, and then we have a couple others that are pending here. Now, to be clear, you can also receive partially. So if you received this order in 2 shipments, we could then go in and say, we only received, however many of these, whatever it is, and you can partially receive. So that's a nice option too. And when you do receive this, it is going to push those inventory numbers of that particular product into your inventory count. So you can accept them within one shot. I accept this purchase order, and now all of my quantities have updated. So it's a super easy, great way to keep those numbers correct and update them as receiving shipments. Okay. All right. Now we have our employee list. So we have all of our staff members. We can give them different criteria and accessibility through the system. That way you can stop them from doing functions you may not want them to do. Things like maybe updating those inventory counts. Maybe you don't want all of your people being able to, access and manipulate those numbers. So you can specify that particular function to only managers, only admin, only stock people, whatever it is. Okay. Same goes for discounts, voids, things that would, kind of alter the total or the dollar value associated to items or to the total ticket. You can again have those be manager override function. Okay, we have our full customer list. So just like how we looked at on the front, but back here, we can actually reach out to these people straight from their email. So if you see our whole list here, we can email any of these people, say whatever we want to them, send them a coupon, make them an offer, tell them about a promotion, whatever it is. Okay. So really direct to your customer. Okay. You can also group people together, which is really a nice option. If you wanted to group people together for whatever reason, you give them, maybe they're VIPs, maybe they're vendors, friends and family. And we can now email everybody who lives in this group at one time. So that's a really nice way to reach, a lot of people at once. You could potentially group, quote unquote, your whole customer list, one email, reach everybody. Okay, so really nice option there. We have the ability for the time management. If you are utilizing the clock in and clock out function, if you ever need to make any edits, right? I clocked in, I never clocked out, we can then make those adjustments. Okay, we do have the ability, which we really use in this environment a lot, for retail to export and import the data. So if you have your full customer list from your existing, old system, we can then take that information and upload it here into our system. Same with the catalog. So any of your inventory list, the information that you have, we can then take that, pop it into our template and upload it. So that way, if you, maybe aren't a brand new store and you already are up and running and you have, your system kind of built out with all this really important, relevant information, you don't have to feel like you're going to lose it or have to start completely brand new, right? We can at least, sometimes even push some of it, whatever it is, we can push all that information into the system. That way you're going to get started with the information that you've already collected over however long. Okay, so nice option there. We do have the coupons and promotions. Promo is going to be time sensitive. Again, you can set that up however you want for whatever product you want. Same idea for the coupons that we took a look at on the front. You create them to be whatever you want. Now back here, you can email or text them directly to the customer. So that's a nice option as well. Okay, we have our app store so that you can have add-ons. We have so many great add-ons that really, help add to your business. Things like the loyalty program, like we looked at on the front. We also have a gift card program. We have digital signage. That's a really great tool that you can use in your retail location. E-com obviously is, super important as well. So we can add that on really easily. It will communicate with everything that happens inside your regular inventory and catalog list. Everything will communicate seamlessly together. All the reporting will communicate seamlessly together. So that's really a nice add-on piece that will add benefit, to your business. Okay. And then we have our settings. So the settings are really, anything that you can do in the system, things like redirection or the information on your receipt, the colors, the background, just all of that kinds of stuff. And you'll see here within these different buckets, different reports, the receipt, the tip, the signature. A lot of retail locations are offering tips now and tip prompting to the customer, right? So things like that we can access and have available for you within your location. We just click into setup here just so you can take a look. So this really like the look and feel, everything about your business, your logo, your address, your phone number. Those are the things that are going to appear on your receipt. Do you want them to or not, right? Things like the discounts that we had kind of predefined in there. Maybe you're going to offer a military discount or friends and family discount. So we can pop those things in. So all of these things are really like creating buttons, making the workflow, the redirections, everything really be the most efficient for your business. Every account we set up is different. Every business is different, even if it's selling the same product, right? So we really want to tailor it to be what that particular business needs and wants out of their system. Okay, so these tons of settings back here allow us to do so. It could be a little bit overwhelming, so we do work together to kind of get it set up the way that you want it to begin with, but you'll always have the ability to get back here. Unfortunately, we hear a lot from other POS companies, or that people have dealt with other POS companies, that they have trouble accessing this stuff. They have to email the company and ask for their inventory list, or email the company and ask for please update my phone number on my receipt, whatever it is, right? And then they have to wait for somebody to do that for them. So as much as we're happy to help people do that, we want you to be able to access those things yourself. So that way you don't always have to be kind of waiting on somebody to do that. Okay, so you have all those things at your fingertips right here from your back office portal. Okay, so that is the gist of the back end and the front end. I hope I reached everything that you guys are looking for. However, I am always available to answer questions. We will be providing, I'm going to just stop the share here. I believe Vinny can pull up the next slide here, and we can take a look at the information that we have available to everybody. And part of that is going to be my calendar link, where you can book my calendar for questions, comments, concerns, anything like that, or a demo. I'm happy to do a demo for you if you want to just learn, or for your clients. Whenever you have somebody who is interested and wants to see the system and wants to have a live, viewpoint and be able to ask questions, that's what I do all day long. So I'm happy to do that for you or for your clients at any point. So you can book directly through my calendar link at whatever time is, good for you guys. And then we'll be able to offer you that demo. We also have, if you see here, these other resources, our YouTube channel, which we've been really working on pushing new videos to all the time. As things come up and people have questions, we try to, kind of respond right away and create those videos. That way they are available to anybody who's searching for and looking for them. So kind of how to, even to give your customers just a viewpoint of what the software looks like, right? And how things kind of look when you're moving through the system. So that you can reach at our YouTube channel. And then we also have the university, which we really give to, anyone who is signing up and using this system. The university is really your how-to guide of how to do things, right? Maybe you have a question about anything specific. How do I, move this category from one place to another? How do I move this item out of this category and into a new one? How do I update my receipt, or the writing at the bottom of my receipt, whatever it is, right? These things come up, and hopefully we have the answer for you there on the university. Okay, so really great resources to reach out to.
Thanks, Justine. Did a great job. Appreciate you doing this morning for us. I do, before we open it up, I do have a couple questions. Can you just speak to what it's like if you have a multi-location business or enterprise level? Is that an option? And, is that easy to set up?
It is. Yes. Thank you. So that certainly does happen, right? We see that in restaurant and in retail alike. In retail, the most important piece of that, I think, is the inventory, and the way that you can, and a lot of locations do, right, transfer product from store to store. So if I have a store maybe with 2 locations, and maybe something's not really selling in one or the other, or whatever it is, we can move product back and forth. So the way that would look is we would set you up with an enterprise account. There would be a super user who can kind of access all of it. You can toggle between locations. So that way, you can log into your back office portal and have the viewpoint to seeing both locations, or multiple, whatever it is. You can kind of toggle between them. That way you can keep your staff members, your sales, things like that will be separate, right? But you can still access them within one viewpoint. So you can click back and forth, toggle between the locations, but you also will be able to view them at the same time in your inventory bucket. So when you are in that inventory section, you can actually kind of click as like a drop down to see each location and what's available in either. That's also the place where you would then kind of transfer among locations. So I'm going to take 2 of these and move them to the other. So you remove them from one, add them to the other, and it will then update appropriately.
Awesome. Another question I have, can you go over the hardware differences between kind of light and full point of sale, and just kind of your experience and what you're seeing, what's working, what are kind of some of the best options to set someone up, what kind of differences?
Yeah, sure. So the full point of sale is really what we looked at today. Vinny, I think you gave it the exact right kind of percentage to say earlier that it's about 80% you're going to get within light. So you really are not losing a lot of the functionality within light. However, I think it just depends on the environment of kind of, how much functionality and the viewpoint that you want to see. So what we looked at today was on my iPad. That was the full standard point of sale. The easiest way to kind of think about the hardware aspect of it is that you can only run full POS on a larger device, right? So a tablet, let's say PAX E700, we use a lot in this kind of an environment, and we really love that option. So really full, right? Full POS is going to be on a full screen. The light version is made for a smaller screen or a smaller environment. So you're going to only be able to use that light on something like a handheld. So a PAX A920, this E600. So it really is, kind of the way that it's worded, right? Light is the lessened version. It's on the smaller device. Full POS is the full version on a bigger device. Now, I think it really just depends on the merchant of what they want in the functionality and in the actual device, right? Do you need to see a larger screen? I think a lot of times that's kind of what it comes down to. I think that the light version is totally enough software to use in these like CBD environments, maybe a smaller type of boutique, maybe a coffee shop that also sells some retail product, a smoothie shop, maybe something like that. And then the full obviously is for, you can use it in the same types of locations, but it is going to give you that a little bit more larger screen. And it's going to need a place to be, right? On a countertop or somewhere like that. It's going to take up a little bit more space than that little handheld would. So that may be applicable as well, like how much space you have in your environment.
Awesome. And Don had a question about e-commerce, and I know, guys, we're probably gonna have to do a whole separate webinar just on e-commerce alone. It's a capability that we have through the restaurant side of our point of sale and retail. But could you just speak to, if someone orders something online, is there an option to set it up so that the customer can retrieve it curbside?
Yes. So the online platform comes with its own kind of set of settings, right? And options of ways that you can set it up. So there are things that you can decide, like times of the day that you want to sell through e-com, days of the week that you want to sell through e-com, certain product. Maybe you could decide that you only want to sell certain product online, and maybe the other product is only available in store. So you can be very specific about the product, the days, and even the price. Some people can decide to change the price. If I'm selling this to you online, now I have to do a little bit more. I'm going to raise the prices by $1, whatever. So you really do have a lot of options in terms of, do you want the in-store to be exactly mirrored by the online or not? And you can make those decisions and those changes based upon however you want to run it. Along those lines, there also is the options of how you want the customer to pay for the product and where they're going to get the product, right? So is it delivery? Is it a curbside? Is it shipping? You can ship the product if you want to. So you do have all of those options to be able to set it up that way. And then again, same idea for the payment. Do you want to only accept payment online at the time of the transaction, or do you want to allow the customer to pay cash or regardless, right? Pay inside the store when they come to pick up the product. So that can be an option as well. Actually, to piggyback off of what we were just talking about with the light version, having a handheld is a great way for you to allow the customer to pay in store curbside. Now you can take your little handheld and you can walk out to the car and give the person the product and accept their payment right there at the car. So yes, those options are available. It's just all set up within the settings when you set up your online platform.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Justine. This has been a great hour, and I appreciate your time this morning. Guys, I'm going to send out an email with a follow-up. It's going to have a full recording of this video, like I said earlier, so that you guys can share this with your team. I'll give you guys some information on that. If you are currently partnered with us or you're not partnered with us, I can send you information on how to get that rolling, whether you're doing payments or not with us. I will send Justine's payment link. I'll send her university channel, her YouTube channel, so you guys can take a look at that as well. We do have a ton of stuff we could go over, and we'll continue to do webinars like this throughout the summer to help you guys and guide you guys so that you guys can help, scale all these businesses and get out there and sell the way you need to and want to. But thank you guys, everyone, for your time. We will follow up and have a great week, guys. Thank you so much. Thanks, Justine.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.